Love is in front of Dillon, who gets the call, and he's mugged at the line of scrimmage. Harrison Phillips destroyed the interior of the Green Bay defensive line.
Harrison Phillips just did a nice loop, got through, and was able to make a tackle in the backfield for a loss. So great job defensively.
Well, the human fire hydrant blowing up the Packers offensive line, sight to behold, no question about it. Now, Harrison Phillips absolutely benefited from being in the Brian Flores defense this season. And I'll tell you what, let's take a look at some of these plays and figure out exactly what he brought to this defense. Now, if you're a big man, one of the most important things is effort. And I think this first play points out exactly what we were getting out of Harrison Phillips this season. You take a look at this against the LA Chargers. When you want to take advantage of the hustle of defensive line, you run some quick screens. And in this case, you're going to see Harrison Phillips right here. He's got his back turned to the camera. Why? Because if there's any type of a run or any blockers coming his way, he wants to get down this line of scrimmage. That's what the offense wants, to get the big men flowing in the opposite direction. But as soon as the quarterback lets go of this football, Harrison Phillips says, hey, I got to make a play. And look at this. You don't see 300 and some odd pound defensive linemen getting horizontal too often. This is a fantastic effort play, and it's the first thing that you got to have in a defense with Brian Flores. You got to hustle, you got to cover ground. So on this next play, you're going to see Harrison Phillips. He's, right there. This is where you normally see him, at that nose tackle position. And when you are a zero nose, you have to play a couple gaps, and this is something that he does so well. You're going to see on the snap of this football, he is getting pressure on that center, right? He's not giving up any ground, and you see where his shoulders and his vision are. So if that running back takes this football and just goes quickly north and south, he's able to get back in there and make a play. But he doesn't stop his feet. He keeps this thing moving outside. And when that running back finally cuts, he builds this wall, because you see what's sitting right behind him is Ivan Pace, the linebacker. He's just reading the flow. But Phillips does a great job of two-gapping. He takes away the outside gap with the body of the offensive lineman and plays the cutback on the running back. Big, strong tackle, no yards after contact. Another great physical play by Harrison Phillips. Now, where you need the big guys moving people is right here. First and goal. This is first and goal from the 1 yard line. A key spot in this game against the Green Bay Packers. Watch Harrison Phillips. In this case, he's not necessarily a zero nose. He's outside over the guard, basically a three technique. But it's what happens on the snap of the football, right? This is all about inches and gaining ground. He steps into the center trying to reach him. The hand placement, though. His pads are lower than the offensive lineman. Watch the extension, the long arms. Gets that lineman pushed back onto his heels, able to come off and make the tackle. That's a big man moving a lot of weight. All right, against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we're going to see him as a little wider three technique. I mean, he's all the way outside, inside this tackle. But watch what he does to this offensive guard, Cody Mauch. Cody Mauch getting off the line of scrimmage. A bit of a double team here, but again, notice the pad level, right? That his right foot's in the ground, his shoulder, his helmet, his pads are lower than the offensive lineman. What does that mean? That means leverage. And on this case, he locks Mauch out, like he pushes him off. I mean, physically moves his body. That's called winning in the trenches. But the best part of this play is he has this gap right here kind of taken care of, but he gets over the top to make this tackle. So after he gets the extension, he's reading that running back, gets over the top and gets in on the tackle. A great physical play inside the football. All right, another example of Harrison Phillips as a three technique. So it's the versatility. It's the zero nose, the A gaps. Now he's all the way outside in the B gap. And when you're a B gap player, you're gonna get double teamed, especially against the counters and the powers. And in this case, you'll see the guard and the tackle hitting the double team. But you notice again the technique. As this guard is coming across, pulling to kick out or pulling or trying to fold back inside, he has to hold the point. That's the key. 2 against 1. If you can hold the point, you win, but he does just more than that. He stays in there. And as that tackle works off to the linebacker, he fills that gap. So he keeps his body right here, right in that gap to close it down on the running back, able to get off, make the tackle, be there, working against the other offensive linemen. So to hold the point on the double team, not many guys can do that. All right, another big goal line play. This is 2 plays after the one we just showed. Need to stop. 3rd and goal on the 1 yard line. You've already shut them down 2 times in a row. Have to do it one more time. Need a big play. We've seen him all throughout this working inside in these gaps. Well, the offensive linemen, they start guessing. And watch what happens on this play. This tackle is going to block down, try to wall down that side of the defensive line to give the running back a lane. Harrison Phillips is able to swim and get outside. It's a great move that he makes. But notice his arm placement. His one arm is on the offensive tackle, and his other arm is up here on the tight end. Because of that, this tight end cannot collapse him, cannot fold down, so that he braces himself. He sets himself up, able to get off then and make the tackle. So a great job of hand placement and body movement on that play by Harrison Phillips. Now, another big weapon of a defensive lineman is the gap stunt. What exactly is that? Well, when you see everybody lined up, you see Harrison Phillips. He's right here in the middle of your screen, right? That guard knows he's going to be in that A gap. But watch what happens. At the snap of the ball, he is going to loop across the face of this offensive guard. But it's the technique with which he does this is the key. That guard's coming down. He's thinking, I got a sitting target. I'm going to pound on him. Harrison Phillips gives him the Olay, but look at Harrison Phillips' feet. He's square, his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. Why is that important? Because as this run goes down, he's able to keep his shoulders square and then make a big tackle against the San Francisco 49er offense. He's one of the best out there at running these gap stunts. Another type of block D linemen see all the time, it's the choke block. It's basically the center turning back on the nose tackle. Watch what Harrison Phillips does in this one. The technique is what it's all about. This center is going to fire off and try to wall him, right? He's going to try to just kick him out. Easy block, has the angle, but Harrison Phillips, he's got something else in store. Again, on contact, see the hands. Notice the shoulders are square, but watch the escape. Watch what he does. He gets that right arm underneath, gets the right leg through, shoulders square, kind of falls down, keeps his feet though, and makes a tackle in the backfield. Now, you can't talk about defensive line without talking about the pass rush. Now, not necessarily Harrison Phillips' forte, but he can be productive and he can give a lot of help. And what these big guys inside can do is collapse the pocket on a quarterback. And we have a couple of examples of this. In this first one, again, Harrison Phillips one-on-one with the center. The center has him blocked up right now, but again, watch his feet and watch the strength. The arms come through. The center is never able to really set his feet. He's able to march the guard back, does not allow that quarterback to step up. All right, another example of Harrison Phillips being productive in the pass rush game here. You're going to see him outside the guard again at 3 technique. He's looping his way inside, but it's what he does after the loop that's important. He's going to come across the face of that guard and start to get upfield, but right there is very, very important. He knows he's leaving this big gap right just inside where the quarterback is, knowing that if this quarterback steps up, he has to be there. So watch the move. A little bit of a spinorama, gets himself back in. So that's smart pass rushing. So there's technique, there's effort, and then there's smarts too. And finally, my favorite gut pressure play against Cincinnati. Watch this play. You see Harrison Phillips getting into the guard. Again, he's reading the block. That guard is really stepping down to block him, but he never stops his feet. He keeps himself going north and south, presses that guard. What that causes the quarterback to do is panic a little bit, and right here on this spot, you're seeing him. He has nowhere to go. You have 3 defensive linemen right here, and right here, maintaining the pocket, not giving Browning anywhere to go. And what ends up happening? Well, Danielle Hunter comes in with one of the biggest hits of the season. Boom! It's not just Danielle, it's everybody operating on the same page. That's how you get the big hits, and that's how you get the big plays.